Most of you might have heard it at this point, but our friend Joe Rogan contracted COVID last week. He posted an update on Instagram in which he described getting the virus and throwing a bunch of different therapeutics, including ivermectin at it.
And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin.
But really what pissed people off about Joe was his use of therapeutics, and in particular, ivermectin.
Ivermectin is something more often used to deworm horses.
Ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock.
You have individuals like Joe Rogan, for example, who don't want to take an experimental vaccine but will take horse dewormer.
When you have a horse deworming medication that's discouraged by the government, that actually causes some people in this crazed environment we're in to actually want to try it.
I love you, good boy. Daddy's little... Oh, who's that? Who's that over there? Oh, no. You see the bad man in front of you? You're a good little boy. You're gonna get him. You're gonna get him.
Well. If it isn't old horseworm Rogan. I'm glad you're well, man.
Bro, do I have to sue CNN?
I don't know, do you?
They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company. Mm-hmm. They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use in human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
Yeah, what? So
they must know that that's a lie.
A lot of people watched with great interest Dr. Sanjay Gupta over at CNN appearing on the Joe Rogan podcast. Joe is grilling Sanjay Gupta on, remember CNN's decision in order to call ivermectin horse dewormer, specifically in reference to Rogan, after he got sick. And Joe really grills him and gets Sanjay Gupta to admit that CNN made a mistake and should not have said what they said. One of the rarest things you're ever gonna see. Let's take a listen.
Glad you're better. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
it only lasted a day.
You're probably the only one at CNN that's glad.
No. We're not.
The rest of them are all lying about me taking horse medication. And we should talk about that.
That bothered you.
It should bother you too. They're lying at your network about people taking human drugs versus drugs for veterinary.
Calling it a horse dewormer is not a flattering thing. I get that.
It's a lie. Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer? I can afford people medicine, motherfucker. This is ridiculous. First of all, it was prescribed to me by a doctor.
Yeah.
Along
they
with
shouldn't have said
a
it was
bunch of other medications.
If you got a human pill, because there were people that were taking it, the veterinary medication, and you're not, obviously. You got it from a doctor, so that it shouldn't be called that. Ivermectin can be a very effective medication.
But my point is, you're working for a news organization. If they're lying about a comedian taking horse medication, what are they telling us about Russia? What are they telling us about Syria? Do you understand that that's why people get concerned about the veracity of the news?
Do you understand that the world does not revolve around you and your do whatever it takes, ruin as many people's lives, so long as you can make a name for yourself as an investigatory journalist, no matter how many friends you lose or people you leave dead and bloodied along the way, just so long as you can make a name for yourself as an investigatory journalist, no matter how many friends you lose or people you leave dead and bloodied and dying along the way?
CNN then dragged Gupta on the air of the network and basically forced him to retract his comments about ivermectin and horse dewormer. And Don Lemon essentially makes Gupta sit there during this struggle session where he's like, we didn't do anything wrong, right, Sanjay?
So very important. I know it's in large part a tongue-in-cheek interview, because it's Joe Rogan and there's a lot you're jockeying back and forth. But he did say something about ivermectin that I think wasn't actually correct about CNN and lying, okay? Ivermectin is a drug that is commonly used as a horse dewormer. So it is not a lie to say that the drug is used as a horse dewormer.
You dumb motherfucker. Do you know what you did? You just proved my point. When Don Lemon goes on with Sanjay Gupta and says, actually, it really is a veterinary medicine, It really
No,
is
but that's not what
deworming horses.
this was the lie. He goes, it's not a lie to say it's also used as horse medicine. He goes,
That's not what you said.
Yeah, that's not what you said. You didn't say
Yeah.
this drug, which also is used for horses. Of what relevance is that?
Lots of drugs that humans consume
Right, or dual use, yeah. Of
also
course.
have a veterinarian use. My dog was just prescribed Valium after she had a surgery.
Okay.
Are you going to describe Valium as a drug that humans use, but also dogs?
My dog's heartworm medicine is actually ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Here's what CNN has said in its latest defense of its coverage. Quote, "The only thing CNN did wrong here was bruise the ego of a popular podcaster who pushed dangerous conspiracy theories and risked the lives of millions of people in doing so." So this is important. After CNN's Sanjay Gupta, in which he is the chief medical advisor and chief medical person, this scientist, in-house extraordinaire, has said openly, we should not have said that.
We got it wrong.
The network has now put out a statement saying, not only did we do nothing wrong, that Joe Rogan is full of it, and we stand by our original comments 100%. Even the Washington Post's Eric Wemple, who is by no means a conservative or whatever, here's what he says. CNN's statement sounds more like the work of an advocacy group than a journalism outfit. The issue actually begins and ends with the integrity of CNN's content.
Yes.
If we take Rogan's prescription claim at face value, and CNN has not challenged it, then the network's coverage was slanted in some cases and straight up incorrect in others. So in this instance, you don't have to endorse Rogan to abhor CNN's coverage of the topic.
Am I in trouble here? Look, either way, I'm covered. Protected class. They can't fire me. They'd look like they discriminate against majorities. And the majority of people would have a big problem with that.
Joe Rogan is a podcaster, okay? He is a very popular podcast host. Y'all are pretending to be straight, fact-based journalists.
Yep.
You are holding Joe Rogan to a much higher standard than you are holding yourselves.
Yes.
At best, ivermectin is unproven to treat COVID. At worst, it doesn't work at all. And of course, there are people who, because there's a shortage of ivermectin, have been buying it from the livestock store. That is really dangerous, and you should not do that. That is not what Joe Rogan did. And if you aren't saying that, then you are lying. It is really that simple. It's not a hard one to figure out. And if you're Sanjay Gupta, what's he saying about this?
They just they basically just had
They
say, hey, Sanjay, screw you.
Yeah.
What you spoke out of turn, smack him on the head.
Completely cut him off at the knees.
Right.
Demanded he come on and, have his little, like you called it, a struggle session with Don Lemon. Then put out this statement saying, no, what our chief medical correspondent, the guy who we look to
provide medical advice.
To provide medical advice, that guy's wrong.
Yeah.
Listen to us in our PR department.
Joe got to the very core of it whenever he was talking with Sanjay. He was like, do you understand how when you lie about, what he called some shithead comedian and some medicine that he takes, how can you have confidence in the other facts that they are telling you?
All right,
Jamie.
Can you put this on the shelf? Don't drop it. I'm not an idiot, Rick. I'm not gonna drop. Here we go. Only one of us is getting out of here, Morty. No talk, old man. Come here and fight me. I'm sorry, Rick. Morty, you idiot. Now I have to make more. What was it? It's acid, Morty. Pure LSD.
But the Tokyo Medical Association chairman held a live press conference recommending ivermectin to all doctors for all COVID patients.
人工知能
ivermectin
トーストの出来上がりを音声で知らせてくれて同時にトーストが飛び出すのだろうミサイルも予告なしに撃つのは人でなしだ見ていろ
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe.